to the Paletteful Packs YouTube channel. My name is Alice and I have the May 2022 Paletteful Premiere Pack here in front of me, so let's open it up and see what's inside. Oh, that's pretty! Okay, love this sticker. How cute is this? I love this sticker. It is adorable. It's got these little like flowers around it. Oh, palette. Oh, yay! Oh, there's watercolor. It's watercolor. Okay, so this is a watercolor box. The first thing that I found is this Elda palette by Art Alternatives. This is a really, really cool palette. It's supposed to like stack without disturbing the colors of your paint. And you can put your paint in here and then you've got like all of these different mixing wells. So this is nice. I like this. It's like lightweight and it's made out of like a good quality plastic. So this is gonna be awesome for mixing up all of our colors. Then we have a brush in here. Oh, this is a nice brush. This is a liner brush. This is a Princeton Summit liner brush. So it's a size 1 and it's got this really long skinny tip, which is awesome for creating fine lines and details. The next brush I see in here is a Robert Simmons brush in size 6. So this brush is a blend between red Kolinsky and synthetic fibers, and so it's going to be perfect for watercolor and give you kind of the best of both worlds. Ooh. Okay, these are the paints. Oh my goodness. So we're going to get 3 little tubes of Holbein Artist Watercolor. This is really, really high quality watercolor. It is definitely a professional quality paint. These are going to be really light fast. The colors are beautiful and a little bit is going to go a long way. So these are actually going to last for quite some time because we really don't need to use that much paint in order to get a lot of pigment because these are so highly pigmented. The colors that we're going to get are Permanent Yellow Light, Quinacridone Opera, and Peacock Blue. So we've got kind of like a primaries thing happening here. So that's going to be great. And I love that there's a more of a pinky quinacridone because I can make some really pretty purples with that as well. Last thing in here is the surface. Ooh, Strathmore Vision Watercolor. You're going to get a thick, thick pad of this Vision Watercolor. You're going to get 30 sheets. It's quite thick, 140 pound. It's 6 by 9 inches, which is a nice kind of little size to work on. And I'm really excited about this paper. It's acid free and it also has like tearable pages so you can tear them out really easily. I think you can customize your cover. Oh, so you take this off and then it's like a cover. Wait, that's cool. Maybe that's what we'll paint on. Maybe we can paint on both. Maybe I wasn't supposed to tear it off. I'm doing it anyway. I'm gonna cut it off. I want this part to be the front. Cute. It says customize your cover. Steel blue mixed media cover to make your own. So I just cut this off. That's exciting. I don't know if I was supposed to do that, but I did it. So this is everything that you're going to get in the May 2022 Paletteful Premiere Packs. We've got this gorgeous high quality Holbein watercolor, 2 brushes, one a slim little liner and one is a number 6. We've got 30 sheets of this really nice thick watercolor paper and then this big mixing palette as well. So, oh, and can't forget the gorgeous sticker. So I am really excited. I love watercolor. It's my favorite medium. So let's jump into this and start playing around with some artwork. So the first thing that I did was I took that gorgeous, gorgeous sticker and I stuck it to the cover that I don't know if I was supposed to have out, but I did it anyway, which is the theme of this whole thing. So I decided to set up my palette and I decided I wanted to mix some secondaries as well. So I went ahead and I mixed a green with the yellow and the blue. And then I tried to mix a purple, but it actually ended up coming out as more of a dark navy blue. So if you want to create a darker navy blue, you can do that with the pink and the blue. And then when I wanted to add a purple, I just added an even more pink. So that's kind of how I set up my palette. And for the swatches, I decided to paint little flowers because I thought that would be a cute little way to like, you know, do the swatches of the paint and see how you know, how it was going to work and look. And I don't know, I've been into little shaped swatches recently. They're just funner. So I painted all these little flowers around and I swatched all the colors, and you can see we were able to get a really pretty vibrant orange from there. And this is where you can see that purple that I tried to make was really more of a darker blue. And so I thought maybe I just hadn't mixed it up properly. So I mixed it up more, and then I was like, oh no, I just made dark blue. So that's fine and actually really useful. So you can make, it honestly looks like a dark ultramarine to me, but I think it came out pretty cool, and it worked as a good base to create some purples as well. So because I had 2 of those darker blue ones, I went ahead and added some more of some other colors, and then I used the green to make little leaves. And eventually I ended up cutting around these. This isn't in the video, but I went and cut them out and I stuck them in my sketchbook on like a plain watercolored background, and I think it came out really cute. So I definitely recommend like doing cute little swatches and cutting them out and using them in collage. It's a really fun way to repurpose your swatches. So after that, I went in and I created a wash. So I started out by wetting the whole paper, and then I went in with the pink and I started creating these loose floral shapes. I am just obsessed with florals right now. I feel like I've painted them so many times, but I just can't stop, especially with spring coming. And all I can think of is Meryl Streep, like florals for spring, like shocking or innovative, whatever it is that she says. But you know what? I don't care, Meryl Streep, because I am loving the florals. So if you want to paint some florals with me, go ahead and wet your paper and throw in some of those flower shapes. And then I started adding in some varieties of greens and blues to create some loose stem and leaf shapes in the background. And then I added in some smaller little like pink areas and then continued with those greens. And right now I'm working very wet on wet, really loosely. I'm just kind of establishing where things are going to be. And that is going to enable all of these flowers and these colors to blend in together. Then I created more of a purple using that darker blue that I made and started to establish where the front and back of some of the flowers were going to be. You can see I'm putting in very, very loose shapes. It's all really, really loose. And then we jumped over the little part because I forgot to hit record, but I used the liner brush and some dark green to just establish where some of the stems were going to be of the main flowers. And then I'm using some more purples and some pinks to go in and establish more of those shapes. And I'm just using a lot of these semicircular shapes, some in front and some in back. And I just kind of try to think of the flowers as just like 2 parts. It's like a little cup, right? And that can really help. And then you can break it down into even more petals from there. So that's what I'm doing now is I'm starting to break those front areas up into 2 petals. Some of these flowers have 3 petals and some have 4 petals, but that's okay. They're not real flowers. I'm not basing them off of a photo. I'm just painting flowers from my head to relax and to not have to think about the content. And sometimes that's really helpful, and it's really nice to just create something very loose and very flowing. And I definitely encourage you to do that, especially if you're in the place where you want to make art, but you're really not sure what to make. I'm in that place a lot. And a lot of times when I do that, I will, like when I'm in that place, I will do what I did here where I wet the whole page and start dropping in colors and see what shapes start forming. And this time I did have the idea of flowers, but oftentimes I'll just see what shapes start forming. Then I'm going to use the number 6 brush to create these skinny leaves. This brush works really well for this. You can just kind of press and then lighten up when you get towards the stem, and it will create those really nice shapes. And then I went ahead and added in some more loose shapes in the background, still just really adding in all of these little shapes to build up these layers so that it looks like there's some loose kind of flowers and stems and leaves in the background to give it a little bit more depth. And then I went back in and added in some more petals. Before I was trying to give the petals in front that I'd added a little bit of time to dry so that when I added the petals next to them, they retained that hard edge. So that's kind of one of the reasons that I'm jumping back and forth between those green leaves and background and then also the petals. It just gives that stuff time to dry so that I can create those crisp edges where I need to. One tip that I have when you're working with greens is to mix in some oranges with it. That orange is going to help tone it down and give it more of a naturalistic look instead of being really, really bright and vivid. And that way the colors of the petals can really shine. I added in some little kind of nubs at the bottom of the flowers so that they were attached. And then I decided to add in some little buds. So what I did was I just painted these little like bud shapes a little bit rounder on the top and skinnier at the bottom with the number 6 brush. And then I would drop in a little bit of pink at the top and it would blend out and it kind of looks like these little buds that haven't quite yet bloomed in the background. And I thought that was a nice touch that added to the overall aesthetic of the piece. And it was really, really easy to add. Then using the liner brush, I went in and added just some final little stems and little flowers in the background just to kind of continue to add that depth and some complexity to the piece. And that's pretty much where we're finishing here, adding a little bit of casual shading to emphasize where some things curl. But that's kind of it. So I hope that this inspired you to paint some flowers or some florals and really play around with some loose watercolors. As you can see, these paints are absolutely gorgeous. They're super, super vivid, and you should have absolutely no problem creating some beautiful, beautiful colors with them. So I did go ahead and use the liner brush at the end to create a little border around it, as well as adding some pink splatters just for some extra little detail about maybe some little flowers in the background, things like that. But I thought it was cute to add a little border to it with some kind of viney type things just to finish it off. So I hope that you liked this video. Again, I can't wait to see what everyone has worked on. And if you'd like to get your own Paletteful pack, then definitely click the link in the description box below to get your own monthly box of some awesome art supplies. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye!